All right, good morning. Garrett hanging out with Greg T in studio with the man sitting to my right. He is the star of Kingsman, The Secret Service, Taron Egerton, correct?
You did that like a champ. It was perfect.
I was practicing for at least a good 2 days on that last.
Well, thank you for the preparation. Much appreciated.
The spelling, you could say it otherwise, correct?
I get Egerton, I get Egerton, I get Edgington, but the correct pronunciation is, as you so beautifully put, Edgerton.
But now you'll get Eggsy a lot, too.
Yes, I fear that may be something that's shouted at me in the street for the rest of my life, but I suppose there are worse things that people could shout at you in the street for the rest of your life.
Now, Kingsman, The Secret Service, it seems like this new coming of age, like, I guess you could say superhero.
Yeah, I think it certainly is. It's kind of superhuman. It's basically a film about a fictional spy organisation called Kingsman, which operates sort of outside of any governing body. It's ran by...
just sounds classy, too.
It's super classy. It's the guise, the disguise for this organisation is a tailor shop off Savile Row, which is an iconic street in London out of which lots of tailors operate. It's ran by a man whose code name is Arthur. It's played by a little-known chap called Michael Caine, Sir Michael Caine. And basically, I play a young lad from... I believe you guys would call it a project. We'd call it a council estate, right. A council estate in London. And basically, Colin Firth's character, Harry Hart, comes along and offers him the opportunity to try out for this Secret Service because he's a little bit wayward. His life's taken a less than desirable path. And what ensues is a good deal of set pieces, comedy, and a lot of fun.
Well, let's talk about it because it's the first big major film for you. I mean,
it is.
You've done some smaller films, some indies. What was it like pretty much being thrown into the deep end with Colin and Samuel L. Jackson and Sir Michael Caine?
Well, yeah, you know, inevitably it was intimidating, but by virtue of the fact that those are extremely successful men...
But the first day. Talk about that first day of set. Like, was it the little butterflies going, or were you just one of the guys with them?
Well, no, it would have been very presumptuous of me to be one of the guys with them, but I certainly tried to hold my own as best I could. You know, those guys are as successful as they are, not only because they're hugely talented, but because they're very nice people to work with. So I walked on set and they were all smiles and hugs, and made me feel very relaxed. Your national treasure, Samuel L. Jackson, is every bit as lovely.
Did you get him to curse?
Did I get him to curse?
Off screen.
There is. It's. I'm not going to swear, but his iconic phrase.
Get these mother effing snakes off these mother effing planes.
There is a take somewhere locked in a vault where he called me a mother F, and frankly, from that moment on, I could die happy.
You know, you made it when Samuel L. Jackson calling you a mother effer.
Absolutely, absolutely.
This is a major film for you. What's the difference for you? Like, you're the closest to a normal person for us to understand to a movie star. What's an indie film versus a major film? I mean, the trailer's bigger, obviously the production's bigger. For like, what's the difference between the small film?
You get marched across the globe by Fox.
Yeah, private planes.
Well, there's a lot of work that comes with promoting it, but it's because it's something that, you know, lots of people should see.
A lot of money.
It's a lot of money behind it, and you're looked after very, very well, and the lovely people at Fox take great care of you. It's the first time in my life I've experienced a sample of luxury, which is great. I'm not complaining.
No turning back at this point, right?
Long may it continue. Well, I don't know about that, but I'm loving it. I mean, I guess it's the scale of the production. You know, It's extremely ambitious in terms of the technical elements. Obviously, the men who are involved. Samuel L. Jackson, Colin Firth, Michael Caine, Mark Strong, these are all very, very, very well-known men. So, yeah, it all just feels extremely prestigious.
I think the movie looks really great. I mean, there's a lot of special effects. There's a lot of action. You know, it's like, there is a pink elephant in the room here. The pink elephant is that Kingsman is going up against the biggest movie so far this year with all the hype behind it, 50 Shades of Grey. So you have that movie.
50 Shades of... What was that, sir?
Exactly.
I've not heard of it.
Like, in my mind, I'm figuring, like if you're in a relationship, you go kind of let your girlfriend go off and see the 50 Shades of Grey, and then you got Kingsman for yourself.
So listen, right, if you're thinking of taking your girlfriend to see 50 Shades of Grey
why wouldn't?
on Valentine's weekend, Do you honestly want to go and see a beautiful man be perfect with your girlfriend? You're going to pale in insignificance.
I want to see Kingsman, right?
What you want to do is go out of an evening and have a load of fun.
Right.
Frankly, there are other raunchy films that you can watch in the comfort of your own home. If you want to go and see
free.
Exactly, for free. The internet's a beautiful thing.
But
if you want to go and see a load of fun, if you want to go and see your national treasure, an icon, Samuel L. Jackson, then go and watch Kingsman, man.
But exactly, I do, and I plan to actually see Kingsman this weekend. But in Kingsman, I mean, really, we just touched on it before. The cast is spectacular. All incredible actors, big names. You said Colin Firth, Samuel Jackson, Michael Caine, yourself. I mean, it's a major picture with major actors in there. You would think that you'd want to take a movie like that and kind of put it on its own weekend, its own pedestal. So I'm always just curious as to why go up against that.
Well, I think if you've seen anything of Matthew's films, this film is very characterful of Matthew.
Feel to it.
Yes, it does, and it has a very kick-ass feel to it. Matthew is, if nothing else, extremely provocative.
Yeah.
So I think for him, he's flexing his muscles a little bit. He's confident in it.
Kingsman in its own rank is a very sexy movie with the special effects that it has. I think that's really cool. Some of the trailers that I've seen, some of the behind-the-scenes stuff, it's amazing.
This is a very individual film as well. We're not talking about your average comic book adaptation.
No, right.
It's got a character all of its own. It's got a sense of humour to it, which is very Matthew Vaughn, very distinctive, very in the ilk of Kick-Ass. It's not. It's certainly not earnest. It's certainly not pretentious. It does exactly what it sets out to do. It's got incredible action scenes.
Yeah, the slow motion.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
it's for me. I'm not being self-congratulatory because the special effects are someone else's work. They're not my own. I mean, I don't think there has been such characterful fight scenes since The Matrix.
This is your first big ass kick ass film. Be celebratory about it. I mean,
I'm very proud. Yeah,
absolutely.
You were talking about how everyone wants to be a superhero, and you get to do this in your per se in your first major film. What was that second idea that you had, that if you weren't going to be a superhero, where were you going to be? What were you going to be?
I don't know. I mean, when I was
superhero or bust.
Yeah, superhero or bust, aiming high. I don't know. When I was a little boy, I was quite interested in animation. I love Pixar and things like that. So that was my kind of pipe dream. And then at some point, I realised it was probably more fun to be the characters rather than drawing them. So that was my kind of trajectory.
All right. Now, of course, this movie being the first movie, a lot of people taking to Twitter, Instagram, learning about you, finding out a lot about you.
Yep.
I don't know if you know this, but these are the top things searched on Google about you. All right?
Okay.
Your eyes. So people want to find out more about your eyes first. And I see a trend here. All right?
He does have beautiful, nice blue eyes.
Thank you, Greg T.
Wow. Yeah.
Then shirtless. So first they're looking at your eyes. Then they want to find a picture of you shirtless.
Okay.
All right? Then your muscles, which it's kind of the same thing as shirtless. But so I see where the
3 years at drama school, ladies and gentlemen. This is what I trained for.
And then your age, because I think a lot of people are like, oh, is he my age range to date? All right. And then if you're single. So no matter what, they're first seeing if they can hit on you, and then to see if they are hitting on you and it's legal.
And Valentine's Day is coming up. Do you have a Valentine this year?
I'm very sorry to say I don't this year. Actually,
you
I'm
will
a Lonely Hearts Club band.
Let's keep it real. You're going to be fine after this weekend. And then the final thing that they look for, which I find the most crazy, is after looking at all the physical attributes, they want to find out how much you've been paid for the movies. So those are the type of people searching for you on Google.
Right, yeah. Well, I mean, obviously, that's exactly the kind of lady I'm hoping to secure, someone who knows what my paycheck is. Well, I am single. I mean, I'm single. I have greeny blue eyes. My muscles are not what they once were. And if you're after finding out what my paycheck is, then I don't think things are going to go very far,
Keep on Googling. Well, let's also talk some other business, too. You and Hugh Jackman are going to be starring in a film too, about
certainly
Olympic
are. It's
skier.
My great privilege to work with one of my heroes. I'm very excited about it.
Now, in preparation, do you take a weekend and hit the slopes with Hugh?
I believe Hugh is an accomplished skier, as he is an accomplished everything. I'm not a skier, so I'm in the process of learning. I'm extremely glad to say I'm enjoying it, and it's going quite well.
You start off on the bunny slopes and then work your way up?
That's it, exactly.
Do you go bunny slopes, Black Diamond?
You're bringing out the terminology in a way that's going to shame me. But
it's all right. Well, we're learning here. I don't ski either, but I know I start with the bunny slopes where all the little 4-year-olds are skiing and they learn how to ski.
I'm probably still on the bunny slope. Yeah,
as am I.
But do you know, I'm not actually, despite being involved in Kingsman, I am not a terribly physical person. And actually, skiing is something I thought I would not take to like a duck to water, but I'm very glad to say that for one time in my life, it's going quite well, which is very fortunate.
Now, with that too, you're working with the X-Men director on on Kingsman, correct? And you know Matthew Vaughn. The rumors are out there about Cyclops. You put that to rest, but is there opportunities down the road? Have you talked about any other X-Men possibilities?
I would absolutely. X-Men is, to my mind, the greatest superhero franchise on the planet.
Wolverine, for God's sake.
I do know Wolverine. I think.
Down the road.
Down the road. At this time in my life, I think Kingsman is a sort of superhero film.
Do you see that turning into a franchise in other films?
I would love to. I'd love to buy a house, Garrett. So frankly, I hope it turns into a franchise. But I have no idea. That's down
to... Just a flat right now?
Just a flat right now.
Flat?
That's down to Matthew Vaughn and Fox, but we'll see.
I have a friend that owns a restaurant, and he finds it very difficult to go to other restaurants and eat food because he's always analyzing the way somebody else cooks it or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
So for yourself, now you're in this major film. Now, is it difficult for you to sit home on a Friday night and pop a DVD in and watch it like the rest of us watch it, or do you have to actually analyze the way they've shot that, or they shouldn't have shot that, or the shadowing?
You look at movies differently now.
Well, I think that's testament to what makes a good film. If you're able to get lost in it and forget about the filmmaking aspect, then it's a success. I'm by no means more snobby about filmmaking. I'm actually more relaxed about it and kind of more forgiving because I know what goes into making a film now. I was probably more judgmental in my youthful ignorance before I had made a film. Now, knowing all of the components that go into making one, frankly, I think it's a miracle one ever gets made.
That's a good way to look at it. And I don't. If I'm flipping around another radio station, I might hear something that they're doing to me, I would say, be very critical and say, oh, that's so corny, that's so this and that. But the way you just pointed out was that you become a little bit more forgiving because you know what they're trying to go through to try to build an audience to do their thing. That's a really great way to look at it.
Thank you.
I'm going to take that with me. I appreciate that. I never think about other radio shows working that like that. It's great.
I'm glad I've been able to impart some wisdom at the tender age of 25.
That's great. No, that's great.
Taron,
great
before we let you go,
it.
I want to give you the opportunity because we work on arguably one of the biggest radio shows here in the country, or breakfast.
Thank you for having me.
Shows. I want to give you 30 seconds right into the camera. You'll talk why people should go see Kingsman: Secret Service opposed to any other movie this weekend. I'll time you so you'll be good to go. So you won't have to. And if you stop short, whatever. But it's your film.
Okay.
Whatever.
So this is an independently financed action film made by Matthew Vaughn, who made Kick-Ass. It's extremely characterful, funny. The action is unlike anything I've ever seen. It features Michael Caine, Samuel L. Jackson, and Colin Firth in one film, and it also features a lead actor who's never made a film before, which I believe is quite rare. So there's a lot of things about this film which are out of the ordinary, not the everyday. I would urge you to see it because it is the thing I am most proud of in my life. Colin Firth is doing things in it you will never seen him do, and frankly, it's just awesome. Go and see it.
That was 30 seconds on the dot.
I'm very, very clever.
Have you been practicing?
I've been trying. It sounds rehearsed.
All right, someone gives me 30 seconds. I know what I'm going to say. Taron Egerton, thank you so much. Kingsman: Secret Service in theaters Friday. Check it out. Congratulations.
Thank you, Gary. Great to meet you both.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Cheers.
Thank you very much.